Picture this. It's 1966, and you're sitting in front of your television set, eyes glued to the screen as Captain Kirk flips open a small device and begins talking to his crew aboard the Starship Enterprise. Fast forward a few decades, and you're holding a device in your hand that looks eerily similar. It's your flip phone, and you're calling your friend to tell them about this crazy new sci-fi movie you just saw. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Welcome, my fellow explorers of the unknown, to a journey where reality is stranger than fiction, and the future is now. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of science fiction and its uncanny influence on the technology we use every day. From the communicators in Star Trek, inspiring the creation of flip phones, to the video calling in 2001: A Space Odyssey, becoming a staple in our daily lives, science fiction has been predicting and inspiring real-world technology for decades. But how does this happen? How do these fantastical ideas leap from the pages of a sci-fi novel or the frames of a film reel into our hands as tangible, usable technology? And more importantly, what does this mean for our future? Are we destined to live in a world where every sci-fi prediction comes true? Or are we the ones steering the ship, using these stories as a roadmap for our technological advancements? Join me as we embark on this exciting journey, exploring the intersection of sci-fi and reality and discovering how our favorite fictional worlds have shaped the technology we can't live without. So buckle up, because this is going to be one wild ride. Let's start our journey by stepping into the shoes of the Visionaries of Sci-Fi, the authors who dared to dream of a future far beyond their time. These authors didn't just create stories. They painted vivid pictures of future worlds, complete with advanced technology that seemed impossible in their era. Yet many of these fictional inventions have since become a reality. Take Isaac Asimov, for instance, known as one of the big three of science fiction. Asimov was a master of the genre, but he wasn't just a storyteller. He was a biochemistry professor, and his scientific knowledge bled into his work, making his stories feel grounded and plausible. One of his most famous contributions to both sci-fi and the real world is the concept of the 3 laws of robotics. These laws, first introduced in his 1942 short story, Runaround, have since been used as a guiding principle in the design and programming of real-world autonomous robots and AI systems. Then there's Arthur C. Clarke, another titan of the genre. Clarke didn't just write about the future, he predicted it. In a 1945 paper titled Extraterrestrial Relays, Clarke outlined the concept of geostationary satellites, a type of satellite that remains in a fixed position relative to the Earth's surface. This concept is the foundation for modern satellite communication, from weather forecasting to GPS. These authors, and many others like them, didn't just write about the future, they helped shape it. Their stories sparked the imaginations of scientists, engineers, and inventors, inspiring them to turn these sci-fi concepts into reality. And that's the magic of sci-fi. It's not just about imagining the future, it's about inspiring us to create it. Now let's turn our attention to a field that's been deeply influenced by sci-fi: human-computer interaction. This is the study of how humans interact with computers, and to what extent computers are or should be developed for successful interaction with human beings. You might be wondering, what does this have to do with sci-fi? Well, a lot, actually. Many of the interfaces and interactions we see in sci-fi movies and books have inspired real-world technologies. For instance, the touchscreen interfaces we see in Star Trek, or the gesture-based controls in Minority Report, have found their way into our smartphones and gaming consoles. But it's not just about the hardware. Sci-fi also explores how we might interact with artificial intelligence. Think of the charming and witty conversations between Tony Stark and his AI assistant Jarvis in the Iron Man movies. These interactions have inspired real-world AI assistants like Siri and Alexa, which are designed to understand and respond to natural language. In fact, many technology companies today use a concept called science fiction prototyping. They create sci-fi stories based around their technologies to explore potential new uses and their social impact. It's a way of testing out ideas in the realm of fiction before bringing them into reality. So the next time you swipe on your smartphone or ask Siri for the weather, remember that these interactions were once just figments of a sci-fi writer's imagination. It's a testament to the power of sci-fi, not just as a genre of fiction, but as a catalyst for technological innovation. As we delve deeper into the world of sci-fi and its influence on technology, it's important to address the elephant in the room: the ethical implications. Sci-fi doesn't just inspire technology, it also sparks discussions about the ethical use of these advancements. Take George Orwell's 1984, for instance. This dystopian novel introduced the concept of a surveillance state, where every citizen's actions are monitored by Big Brother. While this was a work of fiction, it has sparked real-world discussions about privacy and surveillance in the digital age. As we use technology that tracks our location, browsing habits, and even our conversations, how much privacy are we willing to sacrifice for convenience? Then there's Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics that we discussed earlier. These laws were designed to protect humans from potential harm caused by robots. Today, as we develop autonomous vehicles and weapons, these laws are more relevant than ever. They raise important questions about responsibility and control. If an autonomous car is involved in an accident, who is to blame? The car's owner, the manufacturer, or the programmer who wrote the code? These are complex issues with no easy answers, but it's through sci-fi that we can explore these ethical dilemmas in a safe and hypothetical environment. It allows us to anticipate potential problems and work on solutions before these technologies become a reality. So, while we marvel at the technological wonders that sci-fi has inspired, let's also appreciate the genre for the ethical discussions it provokes. After all, technology is only as good as the ways in which we choose to use it. As we journey further into the realm of sci-fi, we find ourselves standing on the precipice of the future. A future that is as exciting as it is uncertain. So, what does this future hold for us? What sci-fi-inspired technologies can we expect to see in the coming years? One area that's ripe for exploration is the concept of shape-changing interfaces. Remember the T-1000 from Terminator 2, an advanced robot that could change its form at will? While we're still a long way from creating shape-shifting robots, scientists are already experimenting with materials that can change their shape and properties. This could lead to the development of devices that can adapt to our needs, changing their form based on the task at hand. Then there's the concept of implantables, devices that are implanted directly into the human body. We've seen this in numerous sci-fi works, from the neural implants in The Matrix to the memory chips in Black Mirror. Today we're already seeing the beginnings of this technology, with devices like cochlear implants and pacemakers. But future implantables could do much more, from enhancing our senses to uploading information directly to our brains. Finally, there's the concept of digital afterlife ethics. As we spend more of our lives online, what happens to our digital selves after we die? This is a question that's been explored in shows like Black Mirror and Upload. As our digital footprints grow, so does the need for laws and regulations governing our digital afterlife. These are just a few of the sci-fi-inspired technologies we might see in the future. But remember, the future is not set in stone. It's a canvas on which we can paint our own visions. And as we've seen, sci-fi plays a crucial role in shaping these visions. It allows us to imagine a future full of possibilities, a future where today's science fiction can become tomorrow's science fact. As we reach the end of our journey, it's clear to see that the influence of sci-fi on our technology is profound and far-reaching. From the flip phones inspired by Star Trek to the ethical discussions sparked by 1984, sci-fi has shaped our technological landscape in countless ways. But perhaps the most important impact of sci-fi is not the technologies it inspires, but the mindset it fosters. Sci-fi encourages us to dream big, to imagine a future that stretches the boundaries of what's possible. It teaches us to look beyond the constraints of the present and envision a world that's better, more advanced, and more exciting. And it's this mindset that drives innovation. The same sense of wonder and curiosity that fuels our love for sci-fi also fuels our desire to create, to innovate, and to push the boundaries of technology. It's no coincidence that many of the world's leading scientists and innovators are also sci-fi fans. They understand that in order to shape the future, you first need to imagine it. So the next time you pick up a sci-fi novel or watch a sci-fi movie, remember that you're not just indulging in a bit of escapism. You're participating in a grand tradition of dreaming and imagining that has shaped our world in countless ways. And who knows? You might just be inspired to create the next big technological breakthrough. And with that, we've come to the end of our journey. But remember, in the world of sci-fi, the journey never truly ends. There are always new worlds to explore, new technologies to imagine, and new stories to tell. So keep dreaming, keep imagining, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Because as we've seen, today's science fiction can become tomorrow's science fact. And that's a wrap on our sci-fi journey today. Thanks for watching, and remember, the future is now. See you in the next video.